Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Collaborative Connections, a space for sharing and learning sponsored by the Society for Oncology Massage. My name is Erica Clinton, and I will be your host. On today's podcast, we have Brock Freisen, Director of Sales and Education for Carpe Diem CBD. Carpe Diem was a sponsor and vendor of the 2023 Healing Summit. Welcome, Brock, and thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Hi, Erica. Thanks for having me on. This is a great honor to be here. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to all your listeners today.
Well, wonderful. I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure they have a lot of questions, and hopefully I've represented them well. But why don't we get started by just having you tell us a little bit about Carpe Diem CBD?
Yeah. So we're based out of Minnesota. We're a true seed to shelf company, which means we farm all of our own hemp. We started back in 2019 after the Farm Bill passed in Minnesota. So we started growing organic hemp. Our first year, we farmed over 100 acres. Took quite a long time, did it all by hand, all organic growing practices. We use raised beds with like rubber mulch. If you've ever seen like a vegetable farm or fruit farm, they usually have some of those. We have drip tape underneath, which means it's a long hose underneath with tiny little holes in it. So we can essentially, quote unquote, flood the field where we're not having to just pour water over the dirt and then it evaporates right away. It's a little more controlled, especially like the last 2 years, we had some really hot droughts. And we're not really too fazed by that because we have a well underneath our farm where we feed all of our water from. So again, we're not using excessive water. Even if it's hot, we still have a little bit of that drip tape under there. So our plants are still getting water on those hot days. So we don't have any issues with that. Just got our soil tested to USDA certified organic this last summer, something we're really proud of. It takes a lot of time and money to get there, and we were able to do both. Just something that, again, we're proud of because we want to make sure that we're growing it organically. We know it's clean ingredients. So when we're making and bottling all of our products, that our customers are getting the best that they can absolutely get. And with that, again, being a seed to shelf company, we're handling the process from farming to harvesting, to curing it, to drying it. We break it down into oil, take that oil, break it down even smaller and then start putting that into all of our products, whether it's a topical lotion, a cream, a gel, or getting into tinctures or gel caps or gummies. And we probably get our hemp tested probably 4 to 5 times before it even gets into a finished product. And then we get that product tested again to ensure quality, potency, right? There's no heavy metals, there's no mold in it or anything like that. And the two owners really started Carpe Diem for personal reasons for themselves and their family. Neil, our farmer, and we call him the mad scientist. He's our production, making all of our products. He was born with club feet. He still lives in a very active lifestyle, but, had a lot of aches and pains. And CBD cream is something that has helped him tremendously just with his foot pain. I mean, he couldn't even walk up and down stairs normally. He was having to go sideways, one step at a time, and not really efficient, not a great way to live. And so it's something that really helped him. And then Ben Lipkin, the other co-owner, his wife was diagnosed with a few autoimmune issues. They went through a few failed IVFs. And he's seen what CBD has done for her just to help with, mental, physical stress. And he's like, looking at all the products on the market, they were really low strength at a really high price. And he's like, we got to flip the script on this. Your health should not be a luxury. These products should be a higher strength. So they're working for people. So they're actually activating these receptors and getting the results that people are looking for, but at an affordable cost, because this is not, the first thing that they're trying. Usually CBD or, hemp or cannabis is the last thing that people are trying as, to get relief. Yeah. So he's, again, wanted to make something affordable. So they launched Carpe Diem. And we've been working with over 500, 600 health professionals now, and, working with Northwestern Health Sciences and now working with National University in Illinois, really trying to get the word out there. A lot of people aren't taught the endocannabinoid system or what CBD can really do and help. So we want to be that kind of education, from the business standpoint on what these products are to all these health professionals who are really using it and, can really help their patients out.
It's amazing. It's almost kind of very much like a massage therapy story, right? You really start
Yeah,
out by wanting to help people and using things as naturally or as organically as you can. And from the standpoint of your two founders, to very personal experiences that led them to look for things outside of conventional medicine. And then the realization that the market really needed a high quality product, which you all achieve through this really extensive level of farming. See, now I want to go to the farm and I want to do like a live podcast from the farm, like with your farmers. But that can be episode two. So
absolutely. We'd love to have you out to the farm. We love bringing people out there, being fully transparent. I mean, it's cool. A lot of people know what corn looks like. A lot of people know what soybeans look like. Not a lot of people know what hemp plants or cannabis plants look like, right? So they come out to the farm. It's just a great experience to see what this is, and people are like, "Really? This is what's illegal in all these other states?" And like, yeah, this
yeah.
is kind of what it looks like and smells like. And oh, yeah, we love doing harvest parties out there. We've done yoga sessions in the hemp field. We'll have a sauna
Wow.
out there with some cold exposure. We have massage therapists out there doing some free body work, right? Just kind of health and wellness related, right? And it's just great to be out in nature, right? Just getting people out there and kind of, because we know it's not just one thing, right? It's all
Mhm.
of these things that you're doing to really help yourself organically, right? To heal. So yeah, next episode we'll bring you out.
Oh, that'll be wonderful. So a really high quality product. But let's give our listeners a little basic education about your products, because now when I met you, we had a lovely long conversation, and my mind just expanded once you just started talking about kind of the difference in products and things that I didn't know. So let's start with the basics. Tell us, what is CBD and what is THC?
So I'll even take a step back first. So cannabis is the overall term for this plant, right? Like saying flowers, right? But you have different kinds of flowers. You have tulips and you have roses. So for this, right, cannabis, and then you have marijuana and you have hemp. The only difference between marijuana and hemp is the THC content that's in it. Marijuana has a very high levels of THC in it, where hemp is the opposite. It has high levels of CBD and very low levels, 0.3% of THC or less. And that's the definition between hemp and marijuana. So they both have CBD and THC in them, just at different levels. So what we're growing is hemp plants with really high levels of CBD or CBG, right? Other cannabinoids, non-intoxicating, and then very low levels of THC. Those are the plants that we're using here in Minnesota. So CBD and THC, a lot of people know what THC is as kind of what it's doing to the body, right? If you inhale it or if you're using THC products, you're going to feel something. You're going to feel this little euphoria, maybe more relaxation, maybe taking away a little bit of the pain, maybe a little bit of that perspective shift almost at low levels. CBD, on the other hand, it's like Tylenol. I use that as an example a lot because it's not something you feel, right? It's not caffeine, it's not alcohol, it's not THC, where those things you feel, right? Once they're in your body, you kind of feel that stuff kicking on. Where CBD, again, is like Tylenol, where you don't really feel it working, right? But maybe a couple hours later, that headache is gone. That swelling in your knee is decreased a little bit. The pain in your ankle because you twisted it this morning, running down the stairs late for work or something, right? Now that's gone, but it's not something you feel actively while it's working. So a lot of people will try like a CBD gummy and they'll say, well, I didn't feel anything. Well, that's good, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking to what you don't feel. I don't feel the anxiousness when my phone rings or when my email goes off or when, Erica calls me for the podcast, right? Like it kind of brings that down a little bit because we're in a society where we're always looking to be stimulated. We're looking to, oh, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna feel something, right? If I take this in, I'm going to feel it, or if I put a topical on, I'm gonna feel it, right? And sometimes if you can tell people their experience or what they should be experiencing, hey, don't always think about what you're gonna feel. Think about what you're not gonna feel. right? You're going to bring that pain level from a 10 down to a 2, right? Yeah, the pain's still there, but it's not as drastic. It's not in the front of your mind, right? It's in the back of your mind now. So you can still play with your grandkids or be at work, and it's not just, overtaking your life. So that's kind of how I've been explaining CBD and THC to people. CBD seems to really work more on your immune system, more body than the head. So you're not getting that high euphoric feeling. It's mainly binding to a different receptor than THC is. So again, CBD is kind of something you're not going to feel, but more of that body, total body inflammation, right? You don't feel inflammation decreasing right after a while. You just kind of notice, oh, might have a little better range of motion, or the swelling is gone.
Wow. So in terms of how those affect us, like physiologically or even neurologically, I would say this is when we kind of jump into the endocannabinoid system. Did I say that correctly?
That was very good. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. Slowly was the key.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about kind of that system and how the CBD kind of impacts that. I mean, from my understanding, it's like this is your natural kind of pain relieving system, and the CBD helps that actually function and regulate more efficiently, I guess I would say.
Yeah, no, you're pretty spot on there. So everybody has this endocannabinoid system in their body, right? Animals do as well. You have it from birth. It's something that, and your body naturally makes 2 endocannabinoids. So the body actually probably makes around 5, but what we really know is the 2. Number 1 is called anandamide, or AEA. That one is really known as bliss. Anandamide is Sanskrit for bliss molecule, or happy. So that's, scientists believe like that is what's responsible for that runner's high feeling that people feel when they are doing moderate to intense exercise, that kind of reducing some of the pain, giving you more of a focus, right? A little more of that blissful feeling. And that's really binding to these receptors. So there's 2 receptors, CB1 and CB2 receptors. Not to get ahead of myself, I'll talk about the endocannabinoids that your body naturally makes, right? Is that one is anandamide. The second one is 2-arachidonyl glycerol, 2-AG for short. Trust me, it took me a long time to be able to say that correctly. And 2-AG seems to be more like CBD, and anandamide seems to act a little more like THC. Now they can really do both, but just kind of leaning one way or another just for easy definition. So again, we have this endocannabinoid system in our bodies, and these receptors are everywhere. I'm talking there's CB1 receptors in the central nervous system. CB2 receptors are mainly found in your in the brain, and there are CB1 receptors in the spinal cord. CB2 is more throughout the immune system and body. And this is just a signaling system within your body. So think about if it's really the bridge connecting your brain and body, right? Signaling, hey, there's some in pain in your elbow. That signaling will go to your brain saying, oh, that's, my elbow is a priority. I bumped it this morning. Let's reduce some of that inflammation and pain, right? And then, oh, well, something you bump your knee right now, that's down. That's the priority. So it's just kind of this like walkie-talkie signaling system, letting the body know where the imbalance is. The only job of the endocannabinoid system is to find balance in the body, which is why these receptors are all over the place, right? Because we have, certain imbalances if you're not hydrated, right? Or if you don't have the right diet, or you didn't get enough exercise, or if you got too much exercise, right? And it's always trying to kind of balance itself out. That's why you have these receptors everywhere, just constantly communicating with each other. And something that these endocannabinoids are doing too is it's helping with the neuroplasticity of these neurons, which is just a fancier way of saying it's helping the signaling system become smoother, right? Like a watering hose, if you were to squeeze one end, you might have a little kink in it. It might not flow very well. Well, this is kind of helping the flow of neurons, sending that pain signaling to your brain. Let's, for the example, right? I bumped my elbow. I have a lot of pain going to my head. Hey, oh man, that elbow really hurts. It's like a 4-lane highway, right? Really kind of going. The endocannabinoid system is going to kick on and say, hey, let's reduce that. There's a lot of signaling going on, right? It's not going to cut that synapse off completely like an opioid does, but it's just going to reduce it, right? 4-lane highway, let's bring it down to a 2. Man, that was a lot of stimulation. Let's slow that down a little bit. So now it's not as bad, right? My pain, when I hit my elbow, my pain was at about an 8 or 10, right? Really hurt, didn't feel good. Now with those endocannabinoids or using phytocannabinoids, it's bringing that pain level down from an 8 to a 4, right?
Mm.
Is it still there? Yeah, it's still a little tender, but it went down though. Right now, it's not something that's in the front of my brain that's just bugging me. I can't even think straight. All I can think about is how bad my elbow hurts. It's giving me the time to kind of relax and kind of focus on something else as that kind of heals. And that's, I think, is another thing too. A lot of people want that all or nothing factor, that magic
Yeah.
pill,
Yeah.
right? Sorry, this is not it. This is not one of those things. But it's a great complement to all these other natural things that people are doing, like chiropractic work or massage therapy, because one way or a few ways to actually activate your endocannabinoid system and release natural endocannabinoids. Number one is through exercise, body work, right? Even getting a little massage, a little body work or stretching is going to activate this endocannabinoid system in our bodies and kind of kind of open up these receptors. And, your body's going to release a low amount of normal endocannabinoids to help with this imbalance. And then if you were to supplement with a phytocannabinoid like CBD or something, right, a little bit of body work or exercise is going to stimulate these receptors. Now you're going to get that kind of two-punch combo. It's really going to help, is again, complement the work that these healers are already doing with their hands in just to prolong it. So now when they go home, not only did I have a wonderful massage session, but when I go home for the next few hours after, I'm still going to continue to get those benefits, right? I'm going to stretch those benefits over time. And something that's great is, some people can't get a massage every day, right? They can't go to a chiropractor, get physical therapy every day. So using a supplement like a topical or something in between those sessions can really be beneficial, right? To really help some of that pain, full range of motion, so they can still do their exercises at home or something to really help stimulate that moving forward. And something interesting, I think, too, that a lot of people don't really know is, so there's, right, what are some of the side effects of cannabinoids and stuff like that? And, how come we haven't seen anybody really overdose on cannabis, right? Whether they're smoking marijuana or if it's just like a hemp CBD product. Well, kind of what we've seen is these receptors are everywhere, but unlike different products like alcohol or medications that are made from the poppy plant, those actually activate or will bind to receptors in the brain that control your heart and control your lungs. So that's when people are overdosing on those, it's actually stopping their heart and stopping their breathing. Where these endocannabinoid receptors are still on the parts of the brain, but they're not on that controlling mechanism. So they're not going to stop the heart. They're not going to stop the lungs. Your heart rate can increase from ingesting THC. That's more done so for dilating blood vessels, not so much on the control mechanism of the heart, which is kind of interesting to see that, like, okay, that's, there's this little switch is not on the on and off switch, right?
Mhm.
It's over here on a maintenance switch somewhere. So that's kind of something new that I think a lot of people don't know yet.
Well, that's actually good to understand, so that when using these kind of products, there's not that, as you said, there's not that euphoria. There's not that sense of being kind of out of your self or high, as
Yeah.
someone would say. It's kind of just enhancing, almost like we say, those endorphin kind of feelings, like giving you
Mm-hmm.
that really good feeling without kind of taking away the conscious control that someone might have if they were doing a different drug or potentially drinking. And this is clearly not anything that's the same. So in thinking about people who say, who have, let's say, chronic illness, right? I was just interested by something you had mentioned, in that it kind of turns down the volume, right? It doesn't turn the sound completely off like an opioid would, which oftentimes causes people to just go to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having this product or using a product with CBD in it would allow you to still function, would allow you to still participate in your life, but it definitely could turn down the volume of a lot of pain and discomfort. And I am someone who lives with 2 autoimmune diseases. So I understand that sense of, like, some days my body is just not my favorite, and it requires a lot of energy to move, to activate, to massage, to just be in my body trying to function. So to have that sense of kind of, again, the volume turned down where I could still function, do all my daily activities, see all my clients, work with my students, but not be in so much physical discomfort is very enticing. So with people with various types of chronic illness,
Yeah.
particularly where they have physical discomfort, joint pain, that there is that sense of, I guess, calming down the signaling, turning down the autoimmune response. I deal with a lot of inflammation, which makes my joints very uncomfortable. So the idea that something could take that from, a 9 to a 3 on a regular basis is very empowering, in the sense that I could still function in my everyday life with my chronic conditions, but not be in so much discomfort. Would you say, are there any particular benefits for individuals living with cancer?
That's a tough one. You've seen a lot of anecdotal evidence of, THC and CBD products helping people with cancer. And a big reason for a lot of the scientists believe is because, again, it's helping with that neuroplasticity with a signaling system. So it can really fight that imbalance of, hey, there's a problem here, and somehow that message is not getting across to the brain or to the body. And this is going to help kind of clear up that message, clear up some of the roadways. And again, because it's acting on your immune cells, it's going to kickstart that innate immune response to start fighting out virus naturally. Something, again, like, right, we talk about CBD helping with inflammation. Well, CBD is not getting rid of your inflammation. CBD is acting on the receptor to signal to the body to get rid of inflammation naturally, right? So it's not overriding any system. It's not replacing anything. Again, it's just activating these signals so the body can do it naturally, right? That's, again, with this anandamide or 2-AG that we release, it's activating on the receptor to send some kind of message to say, hey, let's slow this inflammation down. Let's slow the pain down. And something interesting too, going on that synapse, so our neurons are a one-way road, but endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids actually send a signal backwards. So your presynaptic neuron will talk to your postsynaptic neuron, and that postsynaptic neuron will send a signal backward. CBD or the endocannabinoid will bind to that receptor, send a signal backward to the presynaptic neuron saying, hey, let's slow that signaling down. And that was really interesting to scientists because, again, it's the only thing in the body that goes backwards. Everything else is a one-way road. You have to make that whole loop all the way back up. And this is sending that signal backwards to slow down or to speed up that process. There was a cool article that came out from UIC in Chicago. It was about COVID and CBD. And they found something interesting, again, kind of what I mentioned. It was, attaching to the immune cells, and it was stopping the replication of the spike protein.
Really?
It was not killing it. It was not getting rid of it, but it was stopping it to replicate itself. So it wasn't spreading as quickly. And then they noticed, it kickstart that innate immune response. Hey, we have a virus in our body. We have something going on. We got to start fighting this. We got to start fighting this off. And it kind of, got the body kickstarted to kind of start doing that, right? To start, okay, what hormones do we need to release? What signals do we need to send out, right? What other, electrical signals or chemicals do we need to kind of release to kind of help, calm this down, whether it's a tumor to shrink that size or to, right, just send a signal for reducing the inflammation, right? Because the big thing is, right, if you can reduce the inflammation of your cells, then they can start working properly like they're supposed to. And if they can start working properly, you can maintain that homeostasis a little bit better.
That sounds wonderful. And again, just kind of encouraging the body to do things that it's naturally designed to do, but that may have gotten off track due to some kind of illness or disease. So as a massage therapist, what do we need to know about your products to make appropriate choices with our clients in terms of what products should we use on who? Is it more symptom based? Give us some ideas about what we should be thinking about.
Yeah, that's a great question. So with massage therapy, we focus a lot on topicals, right? Doing body work. We have 3 different topicals at Carpe Diem. We have a lotion, a cream, and a gel. So they're just a slightly different absorbent rate, where our lotion is going to be faster absorbing. We're also using aloe and jojoba oil in the lotion, so very hydrating for the skin, going to absorb right away. Our cream is made as a massage cream, so you will get a little bit of a glide to it before it absorbs into the skin. And we made it that way because we noticed that a lot of people do different techniques with massage, use different oils or gels, or don't use any, right? They just might not use any kind of topical, and just because they want to get some kind of grip, right? Depending on your style or what kind of massage you're doing. And then we also have a gel. So our gel is going to be a little faster absorbing, but with that gel, we have added peppermint essential oils. So more for spot treatment to give people that kind of cooling feeling that they are used to with a lot of these products out here that have menthol and camphor that just give the brain, false sense of healing. It's just a cooling agent, right? Sending to the body, oh, I feel something, right? Oh, it's cooling, it must be working, right? We wanted to kind of get away from that, use natural products. But again, that's something that people are used to. They might like it. It also smells better than a lot of menthol. So using those peppermint essential oils are nice with that gel. Also, we use a little to-go roll-on, so it's easy for on the go, higher strength, right? Easy to fit in your bag. We do make two products where we use a full spectrum CBD, and then we have what's called a CBD isolate. Now, if you ever hear the term full spectrum, think full plant in a bottle. And that can be true for anything really, like vegetables, you can take, or fruits, right? You can take vitamin C out of an orange, or you could have like a full spectrum orange that would have all the components of that orange in there. So full spectrum, again, is going to have all the cannabinoids in there, high amount of CBD. It's going to have a little bit of that THC, that 0.3%. It's also going to have other terpenes and flavonoids in there, other essential oils. Whereas a CBD isolate, we're taking CBD out by itself, kind of like vitamin C, taking vitamin C out of that orange, and then making it a CBD only product. So no THC. So if people are really concerned about being high or failing a drug test, that's where we would go more with that CBD isolate route. Now, I always recommend full spectrum products to people, especially if they're not worried about failing a drug test or anything like that. Topicals is not really something you have to be too concerned about. I mean, your body is absorbing it, but it really shouldn't show up on any drug test. But if people are getting concerned about that, go more that CBD isolate route. Again, with that full spectrum, you're going to have a little bit of that THC in there. But a lot of research out there has shown that CBD by itself, not bad. But when paired with THC and other terpenes and other cannabinoids, it works even better. And they're kind of finding out that THC is actually, alerting the receptors to help CBD bind to it. Where CBD is actually inhibiting the psychoactive effect of THC. So they're still helping you with the therapeutic benefits, but you might not have the high sensation, right? You might have more of that relaxation, more of the therapeutic inflammation, stuff like that, benefits to it. And they've seen the same with THC. THC by itself, doesn't, it's okay, it's not great, but paired with CBD and other cannabinoids, THC has been doing wonders for some people with cancer. Again, when people really talk about, well, how much THC or how much CBD should I be using? It's really up to the user, especially if you're ingesting something. It's, you're going to be, are you okay with being high and having that euphoric? Do you like that? If so, maybe increasing that THC is for you. If not, maybe increasing the CBD would be better. But if you can have that full spectrum, I always recommend that just to really kind of help get that full effect. Again, using that orange example, you can take a vitamin C supplement. It's not bad, but eating a full orange, now you're getting other protein, fiber, maybe other vitamins and minerals, antioxidants. So there's just kind of a huge benefit to having that full spectrum product. All of our topicals are made to be mixed with other lotions, gels, and creams. So especially for massage therapists, just depending on, again, what kind of techniques you're using. Do you want more of a glide, or do you want something more of a grip, right? You can add your own oils or lotions to our products to extend the usage of it. Some people have more surface area or a little hairier, so you might need to add a little bit more. But instead of just adding more CBD and going through the product faster, add a little bit of oil to it, or other cream or whatever else you're using to extend that usage. But then you're not just dumping CBD on somebody, right? You can kind of measure it out and know exactly how much you're using on people.
Wonderful. That's great to know. And obviously with some of these products that are topicals, clients could have their own products at home to use over the period of time when they're not seeing their massage therapist to kind of keep away any muscular discomfort or other issues they may be having as
Yep.
well. So that's a nice offering.
Yeah, we offer all of our topicals in a big pump bottle for back bar use. We put the ingredient label really big on there so you can read it in case anybody's allergic to something. We're using high grade essential oils for scents, or we also do unscented stuff too. Again, some people might not like it or enjoy it, or just they want a different scent and they want to bring their own. So we really try to be versatile for that. And we did not, simplify the strength or lower the strength or anything. It's still high strength in that back bar bottle. And then you can show your clients, hey, that's that product I just used on you. Here's the exact same thing, exact same strength, exact same scent, exact same formula that you can take home with you, right? You can use it in between sessions, or you're going on vacation and your knee is bothering you. Put this on, before and after the car ride to kind of help with some of that muscle tension and stiffness, right? Relax some of the muscles around that joint.
Yeah, no, that's great. So logistical questions. Should people consult with a physician before using products that have CBD or THC in them?
Yes, always recommend doing that, especially if you're taking other medications, right? How often are you taking the medication? What is it? How is it being broken down in the body? Most medications are broken down in the liver by your P450 enzyme, which is an enzyme that does a lot of work. It breaks down a lot of things in the body, but it also breaks down CBD and other cannabinoids. So it's always good to know what kind of medication you're taking. There hasn't been a lot of research done on it, on how it really interacts with other medications. There's been a few, and they haven't shown that it interacts too much with other medications. But again, very small pocket of research with that. So always, again, your body is once you get these introduced phytocannabinoids to the body, over time, it really realizes, oh, hey, I know what to do with this. I have these naturally. I know where these receptors are. I know where to kind of push this now. So it's very natural to the body. The body's kind of expecting it and knows what to do with it. But yes, always a good question to, consult with a physician first.
Wonderful. Lots of information. Very kind of exciting to also realize that the research community is also engaging around the efficacy of CBD and THC products. It seems like that is happening quite quickly, maybe even faster than they got into research about massage and other kinds of touch therapy. But I think that's just to a benefit of the human population that could be exposed to these products or use them. So before we wrap up, what's on the horizon for Carpe Diem? Are you guys coming out with new products? Are you doing any research? I saw on your website that you also do some really interesting, kind of donations and giving with the proceeds from your products. So what is coming for the company?
So we donate to Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors. They make custom homes for wounded veterans. So if they're in a wheelchair, everything is lower. If they're blind, everything has Braille on it. It's really a custom home for them and their families.
Wow.
So something we're really proud about. We are in the process of working with a big medical facility here in Minnesota. We'll just keep it low key for now. Trying to do some research on some topicals with their integrative oncologist over there. I'm hoping we can get some of our CBD products to be working with just different chemo brain trials or neuropathy, right? Doing more research and really trying to get rid of some of the other factors that are out there. Using one product for all patients. What's the duration? What's the strength? Really kind of get into some of these research pockets, right? So not just for us, right? You don't really make any money off research, but it's knowledge. It's knowledge for us. It's knowledge for the community. It's knowledge for the industry on what this stuff is doing, how it's working, the best way to dose it for people, and kind of move forward. So we're pretty excited about some of that. We donated some CBG plants this last fall, so a CBG plant is just a higher concentration of a CBG instead of CBD. So as we get better at breeding, you can have these higher cannabinoids in these plants that we can extract, and then now we can do more research on them. And we donate some to UIC this year, and hoping to get some just a small research done on that, and hoping to kind of expand that moving forward. Right now, the products that we make are really, we did our research knowing, okay, what products do people use? what strength is really working for people. We probably will come out with some new products here in the future. Right now, nothing's on the horizon, but as we get more research done and kind of find out the best way for people to absorb it, to use it, we will definitely keep up to date with that, and have some better products for our community to use.
That's wonderful. I mean, you guys really seem kind of on the cutting edge, whether it's just the quality of the product that you farm, and then the products that you're producing, the topicals, the tinctures, and just giving a nice variety of products for people to try, as well as providing great information about what your products do and what they don't do, which is wonderful.
We're also working with Northwestern to drive out and make some educational content for them, doing some videos, one for chiropractors, physical therapy, acupuncture. Of course, we're doing one for massage with some massage professionals too that are using CBD and how they use it in practice and what they see. Hopefully we can get those to be some CE credits for some people too. And these will be available, on our website, and, we can shoot them out to people because, all these wholesale accounts that we work with, all these wonderful healers, we want them to be educated, right? We want them, hey, there's something new coming out. Here's a video that you can watch. If you have more questions, shoot us an email. I know even too on this podcast, if people have questions, I would love to have my email out there or phone number or something where people could call in and ask some questions, or maybe they can email you directly and we could work on it together, maybe do another episode or something.
That would be wonderful. And so I know in closing, we will make sure that people have your website. And as well, we can definitely provide your email. So if they have any questions, which I'm sure they will, about products, you could answer that or put them in the right direction to get more information. And of course, we would love to talk to you guys again. This has been such an enriching half an hour. And I just was scribbling away and now have more questions.
Yeah, it can be a lot of information, right? There's a lot going on, which is what is so cool about, the hemp plant and the cannabis plant, because again, you have these receptors all over your body and you can do so many things, right? Your natural endocannabinoids can help with anxiety, pain, inflammation, muscle tension, gut health. And it's kind of like, well, how can it do all these things? Is because you have these receptors everywhere that just want to maintain homeostasis. And I mean, I'm learning stuff every day. I love this job. I love what I'm doing here. I love educating myself and helping educate other people so they understand what this is. So the fact that you wrote down, had some more questions, I love it. That means we're doing something right, and we're on the right path here. We're just going to continue to help each other grow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure our listeners got a lot out of today's podcast. And I really, really appreciate your time and how committed you are to this company and to the work that you're doing. I'm sure you're helping hundreds of thousands of people, and I really wish you the best in getting to help more people, right? That's what the industry that we're in is, helping people. And it seems like you guys have really hit on something amazing and are really, I loved what you said on your website, that health is not a luxury, right? That everybody should have access and the ability to have good health. And I'm studying to get my public health degree. And one of the first things they taught us was that health is not a human right. And it was kind of amazing, but it was like, what do you mean? Like health? Yeah. No, it's not a right of any individual. And so being kind of your own warrior for your own health and well-being is absolutely what your focus needs to be. And that it really shouldn't be a luxury. It should be something that every human being that crosses this planet is given the ability to have. And so the focus for your company to focus on access to quality products is really amazing and appreciated. And so I thank you, and we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. We can't do this without you either, right? No. Getting the message out there, really knowing what people want to know, what can we do to help, so thank you very much for what you're doing and helping out too. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much, Brock. And thank you, collaborators. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. And if you have questions or interested in Carpe Diem, we'll give you their website so you can go visit, and also reach out to Brock for any follow-up. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks.
Yeah, have an awesome day. Seize the day, people. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.